Hello and welcome to One Step in a Desert. I know it's been a while and I didn't record any new videos after my intro. I really sincerely apologize first to myself and then to you guys who are watching. I didn't really mean it to be this way. Unfortunately, it's been quite a transition for me. As you may remember from my first video, I was saying that I applied to a medical school, I got in, and currently I'm recording this video from Hungary, Budapest. Today was my first day of registration and I got all of my classes registration already. I'm all in the system and I'm officially a Semmelweis student. Yay! They gave us this little folder. I have an ID. All of the information is already here, and I am so ready for the beginning of the semester, which will be September 6th. Tomorrow we have our opening ceremony, which is going to be really beautiful. I really cannot even imagine what it feels like, but I've seen some pictures from previous years, so I'm really hoping it will be awesome. So I think this is my 12th day here. Let me think about it. If I want to be exact, I arrived here on August 16th. I want to say it is August. Yeah. So honestly, like how I traveled here is probably a completely different story, because today I really want to focus on how my life has been so far in Budapest, Hungary, and how I am preparing for the beginning of my school year. So I arrived really early before my studies because they offered paid, not free, course as an intensive help for students who are just coming in to refresh their knowledge in both chemistry, biology, and physics, which is really nice. And it was a 9-day intensive course. Today was the last day, so I'm all done and I'm finished. Honestly, it was crazy. The courses were done at Magdaniel College. I believe this is some sort of an association between an American school and a local school here. So everything is in English, and both international students can come, local students can come, and they can enjoy the program and get their bachelor's actually. So the college provides you with a bachelor's degree. However, I was only here for 9 days just for the intensive course. And we had 3 classes a day, approximately 2 hours each. Although, to be exact, it was 2.5 hours for the first 2 classes and 1.5 hours for the last one. So on most days we would finish at 5:30. However, there were days when we would finish at just 3:30 because we only had 2 classes. But telling you that this was a lot of information, it is like imagining if you could fit all the basics of physics, chemistry, and biology taught within a 9-day period, and you had to not just listen but also be able to comprehend, because this will be the knowledge we will be using in our first year, especially in our first semester in medical school. So that was quite difficult, but I think I'll be fine because I was also studying when I was coming home. And I don't know if anyone would ever find my video and would be thinking, hey, like how does that all work? I would honestly be very, very glad to share my story, because when I was thinking about applying to Semmelweis University, I only found like at least 2 people who were doing some sort of a blog, or like they had it written in their Instagram account that they're Semmelweis students. And I actually contacted them, but unfortunately they never replied. So if any of you guys are watching this video and you want to apply to Semmelweis University here, or matter of fact, you just want to know how life feels like here in Budapest for an international student, I would be greatly, happily ready to just help you. Just leave a note in comments below. You can always email me. I have my Instagram account linked in my description of my YouTube channel. So I'm always just happy to help you guys, because that's what I'm all about. That's what this channel is about. This channel is about motivation, help for others, and just overall talking about like self-improvement, etc. And also, of course, sharing my life journey. So continuing on, I did mention the intensive course. I said that my school just starts in a couple of days, and I have my opening ceremony tomorrow, which I'm hoping is going to be really cool. There's also this thing about Budapest. I think I'm currently experiencing a slight of a cultural shock. Yesterday was the worst day of all, I would say. It was very difficult for me in the very beginning, not because I was homesick or because I didn't have like any friends and family members here or like anybody else that I knew. It was more of how different this country felt. Coming here, I was maybe probably imagining that it would be something like United States. Although I did live in a very nice state, which is Maryland. But I think I was also thinking that this would look more European than it does. And this is not to say that Hungary or Budapest overall isn't beautiful or filled with culture. This is more me trying to share with you what I found to be shocking. And I really don't want it to sound the way it does, but unfortunately there are some districts here, especially in the center, that are not so clean. There is a lot of trash on the streets, but mind you, I'm only talking about remote districts. So if you assume that this is the river and this is the bank of Buda and the Pest on the other side, I haven't been to Buda, just to make this clear, but everybody's telling me that it's much cleaner on that side. However, on the Pest side, if you're in the city center, which is this long piece of land, I would say, or like a district type, call it like inner city or city center, it's very clean there. It is mostly like tourist place, but it's still very clean. But then as you continue going a little further, if you're looking at the map, like further to the right, then you would realize that unfortunately, yes, there are many places where you would see a lot of homeless people here overall. I think in Budapest, everywhere. I really don't know what the thing about this is or what it is caused by, but yes, you will see that. So that is something to keep in mind. Well, I think you will find homeless people everywhere in the world. It's still difficult to sometimes think about it. However, also, you will see weird stuff. Like a couple of days, I've seen two men pee on the street. Like they would lean towards the wall and they would pee on the street, like in the middle of the street where people are passing by. Not like in the corner or anything, like right there. Not normal. And then they do say that there are a lot of pickpocketers here, so like keep your purse very close. That's something I've been doing, and I'm really like scared that somebody's gonna steal something from me because I am carrying money with me when I walk around, or like everybody else. Apart from people throwing trash like around the city everywhere, and apart from homeless people and the peeing guys, I think Budapest honestly is very pretty. It feels like an old Europe because there's not really a lot of like modern building around. Everything is old and not many buildings were ever like restored in a way or fixed. So you do have this old feeling of communism still here. I haven't really thought about it in the very beginning, but then I really realized that's probably what it is. But there are definitely some very beautiful places to see around. Food here is amazing everywhere you go. So far I've been to probably like at least 5 places, maybe more, honestly. I don't count anymore. But they all have been good, like really good. Both Hungarian national food and like Italian pizza, you can find it here. It's really nice, although I haven't been to Italy, side note. But yeah, overall, like everything is very nice. Everything is convenient. You can find literally like 1,000 cafes while you're just walking, maybe more. Like they're everywhere. And little stores are also around. I did get a little bit accustomed to like, where do I buy groceries and where do I find stuff? Where do I buy clothes? So I kind of got used to that. For me, being in Europe for the first time in my entire life, it did feel a little bit like the US as far as like the malls go and walking around and finding places. Like there is Starbucks here and you're like, okay, like I'm fine. Honestly, Starbucks is not that good. Just another side note. Again, bloopers. Yeah. So far I am all good. I have some roommates currently living with me, and yes, I am just renting the room here because it is pretty expensive. I think this is also something that you have to keep in mind if you decide to come to Budapest, either to study or to live here. But then it also depends on what you compare it with. Like renting a room here, including the utilities, is like 350 USD a month, which if you think about it is not really that much because the utilities do include like heating, water, electricity, and internet. So it's not that bad, but like you only get a room. So yeah, that's not that bad, but okay. Like for a student, probably a lot of money to spend, especially in Europe, because you would spend about $600 on groceries a month. That's like approximately how much you would spend, especially in the very beginning. Like I don't know how much money I spent already because I had to like buy this and that, and I have to make sure everything is all ready. And what else? There are a lot of like e-scooters, like Lime bikes around, also bicycles. Not many people use taxis and cabs here. Most people just walk or use the public transportation, which is actually widely available. Both the trams, buses, metro, like so many different things you can use here. And looks like with a student ID you get like a humongous discount, which I didn't try yet because I prefer walking and I live very close by to the university. So I think I didn't want this video to be very long because first of all I haven't been around for a long time, and then I did want to talk about how my life has been here so far. I definitely will be recording a new video about like my first week in a medical school, what it feels like, what we've been covering, and how I am studying. Also what the university feels like, because I feel like, again, going back to the same problem that I had when I was applying, I didn't really know what this university would feel like, and I really wanted to have that opinion. So probably, hopefully, it will help somebody someday. But for now, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And if you didn't subscribe yet, click that subscribe button and like this video. And hopefully you will enjoy all of my future videos, and including this one. If you have any suggestions for the topics that you would want me to talk about, or you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much. And again, have a great day. Have a good evening, whatever it is, where you are. Love you. Peace. And I think I've been shaking the camera. I am so sorry. Like, I hope that didn't really affect anything. Yeah, apart from that, sorry, that's a blooper.